just before we start getting into the course, I'd like to get to know a little bit better, and I'm also gonna introduce myself. My name is Monique Science. You can call me Monique or Sister Science, and I'm actually I also work at the university as the university photographer. So I've been doing that for the past 8 years. And I have been also teaching as a special instructor here at the university for about 6-7 years as well. Okay, so I also graduated from this school. My major was, I was a BFA Arts, and I had emphasis in sculpture, in three-dimensional art. But I'm interested, as you know, you can probably think, because I'm the photographer for the school. I love photography. I love graphics and any type of art, painting and all that. So what else about me? Oh, I'm originally from Brazil, South America, and I've been living here in Hawaii for the past 11 years. So we love here. Me and my family. My kids were all born here, so I have 3 kids now. And I can tell you this is a very special place. And you probably already know, you've met a lot of special people here, special students that come from all over the world. So this is a very special place to be. And I believe that we are here for a reason. Like if you came here, it's probably because you were chosen to be here at this time. So what else about me? I recently got my MFA from the Academy of Art University in San Francisco. And my MFA was done online. So I completed all the courses from here, from Hawaii, because I had to keep working and studying at the same time. So it was a very good experience having the working on this online program. And this course we're actually gonna go into, because it's an IDD course, we're gonna be looking at design and how you apply design to come up with instructional material, right? Because if you're here, it's because you're studying instructional design. So it will be very helpful to learn some of the principles that we're going to learn in this class, so you can apply to whatever work you do, as you know, for instructional design. Sometimes we have students in the class that have different knowledge about the programs, you know, about design, and that's not a problem, because like Maddie, or you know, if anybody else have been doing a lot of design already, and you know the program already, you can spend more time instead of learning, you know, things that you're already familiar with. You can spend more time working on projects, building your portfolio, you know, building things that you can add to your portfolio, and also kind of pushing yourself a little harder. So if there is something that you would like to learn, let's say Illustrator, you like to learn how to draw with the pen tool better, so you can practice on those things that you want to improve on your graphics, you know, whatever it is that you would like to learn. Okay, and of course, if you guys need any help, I'm here to help you out, you know, trying to learn new skills or develop some of your skills. Let's look at the syllabus. So one of the things that we're going to be doing here in this class, we're going to learn and explore the elements and principles of design. Okay, and the reason why we do this in this class, it's because most of you are not art majors, right? So usually the art majors, they have to go through a beginning visual design, where they learn all of these things, the principles and elements of design, right? Maddie, you're art major, right? And Yuzu, Yuzu, sorry, I'm gonna remember. So you and Yuzu are art majors, right? Can you guys kind of think about some of these elements that we're gonna be learning? What are some of the elements of design? Or if you guys, anybody, if you guys know, just, there's no right and wrong answer, just go.
Elements like balance and like rule of thirds and things like that, is that what you mean?
Yeah, and simple things like line, shape, texture. Okay, we're gonna talk a little bit about those things and how do you apply those things to design. Okay, so these principles, they're basically the building blocks for any type of art. So it doesn't matter if you're doing a sculpture or painting, you're always gonna base on these basic principles of design. So that's why we're gonna touch a little bit at the beginning of the course on these principles. Because to be honest, if you look, if you surf the internet, you're gonna see a lot of bad design. Is that right? When you look at different websites, you see a lot of bad design.
Yes.
And why is that? There are a lot of people that they know how to work computers, right? They know how to build websites, but sometimes they're missing what?
They don't know the principles of design.
They don't know the principles of design, or they don't know if what they're doing looks good or not, if it's balanced, or if the colors they coordinate, or the certain type of font that they're using, if matches that style of the site, right? So this is why it's very important, even if you're IDD minors, or I guess in any career that you go, it's very important that you have these skills, that you can look at something and you have the aesthetic eye to say, okay, this doesn't look good. Or, even if it's to make decisions through your life, maybe you're going to be a big boss at a company one day and some people are going to show you things and you're going to say, okay, this doesn't look good. Okay, this looks good. So you're going to know how to differentiate, how to know what's good design. And so you're also going to gain understanding of the design process and some computer graphic software that used by professional designers today. So the software that we're going to be learning in this class, it's Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator, and also Adobe InDesign. Okay, so how many of you have used Photoshop before? You have some knowledge of Photoshop? How about Adobe Illustrator? Yeah, a couple. And InDesign. Okay. So some of you were asking me, what's the difference in between these softwares? So anybody has an idea? So Photoshop, usually, what do you use Photoshop for? It can be used for layout, but to be honest, a lot of people you will prefer using Illustrator if it's a poster layout, or InDesign, okay, for layout. Why is that? There's a difference. Photoshop, you can do layout because you can do layers, you can put text, and you can do different backgrounds. But why is that we don't use Photoshop too much for layouts? Photoshop, it's what we call a bitmap program. So I don't know if you guys know, when you look at a photograph closely on the computer, you see what? Pixels, right? So in Photoshop, if you're going to write your text and everything, you're going to have the same kind of the pixels. So if you enlarge it too big, let's say you design a logo in Photoshop and the person wants to print that logo on a big banner, it won't be as clear as if you design it on Illustrator. Okay, Illustrator, it's what we call a vector program. So a vector program, when you look at the lines that you make on Illustrator, they're very sharp, and it doesn't matter how big you enlarge it, they're always going to be sharp because it's a vector based. So that's the difference in between both. Okay, Photoshop, it's a great program. It's great for doing, using images. You can do a lot of special effects on photographs. And I'm going to emphasize a lot on editing photos also in this class. Because I believe it's really important for any designer to know these things. Because the photograph is a very important part of the layouts that you're going to be doing or the web pages you're going to be creating. So it's good to know how to edit the photos as well. And Illustrator, it's a great program for drawing. So if you guys like drawing, it's really nice and it's not very hard to do it. Also good for text. And InDesign, what's the difference of InDesign and Illustrator? I kind of talked to some of you at the beginning of class. If you have, let's say, a lot of a document that has a lot of pages and you have to put into a brochure, it's really easy to import, like Matt is saying, from Word, you know. And it's a multi-page software. So you're gonna, if you're designing multi-page layouts, like brochure, a book, or a magazine, you're gonna use, you know, InDesign. So we're gonna have a lot of fun learning it. So I'm sure you're probably a little nervous about all these different programs, but they're very similar. You're gonna notice if you have worked with Photoshop before, all the tools, you know, that you're familiar in Photoshop, they don't change very much on the other programs because they're all on the Adobe suite. So it's gonna be easy for you to learn the other programs. Okay, let's go back to the syllabus here. Some of the things we're gonna be doing in this class also, it's problem solving. Okay, this is very important because when you're working with design, what you're gonna be doing every day, you're gonna be solving different challenges. Okay, do you guys agree with that? You're gonna be solving challenges? And why is that? How do you start a layout? What do you have first? You have a blank page, right? So what's your first challenge?
Where do you start?
Where do you start, right? So what are you going to put on your, it doesn't matter if it's the computer screen or, so where do you start? So you're going to be constantly solving different challenges. What are some of the challenges you think you're going to be dealing with? See, that's one of the challenges, right? Sometimes you have something in your mind, but then how do you put that into the paper, right? And like he's saying, sometimes you have a lot of layers, or what are some other simple challenges that you're going to be facing when you're looking at a blank screen on your computer? What kind of background you're going to use, right? Or what about the font, the style of the text that you're going to be using on your layout? Is that important? That's really, really important, right? Sometimes, you know, if you choose a font or a typeface that has nothing to do with the rest of the style of your layout, everything is going to look off, right? So even like the colors that you choose, you're going to have to, you know, think about, you know, does this color goes with this other one? And, you know, think about all these different challenges that are in front of you. So that's why I say problem solving. So designing is constantly solving problems. Creative effort. So I want you to exercise here your creativity in this class and hopefully come up with a lot of great original ideas for your projects. And I wanted to try and do some projects that are also something that you'll be interested about, like something you have a passion for. So you're not doing just a project for the class, but you're doing something that you enjoy doing. So for example, when we do the posters, or we're doing a CD for teaching an online course or a tutorial. So it's very interesting because students, they come up with, it's just a design. They don't have to create the tutorial, but they come up with designs that for things that they like. You know, for example, somebody likes to play rugby, so they will do like a tutorial for, you know, touch rugby 101 or something like this. So try and incorporate some of the things you like into your project. So maybe that will help you to be creative and create some things that really interest you. So I won't be really dictating you have to do a project on this. We're gonna give you the idea or the final product where you're supposed to create, and then the content I'm gonna leave a lot up to you, so you can decide which direction to go. Okay, so another thing here that we're gonna be working a lot with type, color theory. So I'm gonna touch a little bit about colors, where, you know, complementary colors and things like that. So you can have at least an idea about these things. Okay, so going a little on the first paragraph here, I think more towards the end, says that we're trying to prepare here with this course a strong design foundation to prepare you to approach digital technology as artists and designers. So you're going to be using technology as artists with a design eye. Okay? And also, hopefully you're going to be able to start your portfolio with the projects that you're creating in this class. And if you have things that you have done in the past that you want to add to your portfolio, you're welcome to do that. So we want to get you started on a portfolio of projects of design that you can show, hopefully, for potential clients that you're going to have, and anyone, if you're interested in applying for graduate school in design in the future, maybe that's something that you're going to be able to show. Okay, some of the things we're going to be doing in this course. After we go through the software, learning the software and some of these principles, we're going to start working on the projects, and that's when the fun starts, right? So the projects that we're going to be working on, they're going to be targeted to instructional materials. So you're going to be doing posters, CD cases, you're going to be doing web templates. So you don't need to create the whole website, but just the template, the look of it. Okay, so it's very simple. You're going to be using Photoshop and things like that to create that. And you're going to try to apply some of the things you learn, like the principles, and of course the software knowledge that you get onto your projects. Okay, so at the end here, at the end of your syllabus, excuse me. At the end of your syllabus, I have some optional books. Okay, so if you think you really want to learn the software and, you know, play a lot with it, of course, the class is not extensive enough that we can learn 3 programs in one class, and, you know, you're gonna get out of here like as a professional. But you're welcome if you want to get more deep into the software. There are these books that are called Classroom in a Book. They're not very expensive. They're only about $30 if you buy online. But it comes with a CD. So the CD has all the files that you need to use to work on the lessons, okay? So on this here, Classroom in a Book, this one is for Illustrator. It's going to teach you how to use all the tools on Illustrator. And it's really neat. It's an easy, you just follow the steps that the book tells you. So they give you a file, and then you follow the steps to start creating a drawing or using gradient, using the pen tool. So this book is really helpful if you want to get into the software and have something that you can use as reference in the future. You're welcome to buy, you know, these books. So I put over here the Photoshop and Illustrator one. And this last one is a book, Design Basics. So it's also just, you know, optional. But it's, if you want to know a little bit more about the principles of design, it talks about line, see the type, shape, texture, balance. So things that we're going to learn in this class: contrast, unity, color and value. And you can come and take a look at the book as well if you want. Okay? So these are optional books, so you're not required to purchase, but if you're interested. I brought something here today for you to discuss, okay? Since we're getting to know each other here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna try and divide you in 3 groups. Okay, so I'm gonna have the first group here. You guys can be together, and you're gonna be discussing the first page. So you're gonna read the first page, and these are thoughts on design. So these are quotes from different professionals. Some are designers, some are not. Some are like editors or principal, different head of school of design, different professionals in the area, and some of their thoughts on design. So you're going to read what they're talking about and then discuss with your group if you agree with some of these things they're saying, and if you have any other thoughts on or insights on these things. Okay, and if you disagree, you can also say that. So just read the first page and discuss with your group. I'm going to start with you guys here. So if you want, choose somebody to talk to the rest of your class about your discussion, or you can all say different things. That's fine. You don't need to have only one person to talk. So guys, go ahead. Tell us about this first page and what you guys discussed. True. So there's some interesting things that Brian's saying here, right? So he said maybe design is about creating things that are attractive, right? And you mentioned maybe about product design, right? Or packaging. How some people, sometimes they're influenced to buy a product because of what?
A good design.
A good design package, right? So he's saying, he gave an example of a bottle. So some people, they will buy this drink, you know, maybe they don't know how the drink tastes, but because the bottle looks really nice, you know, the design is really nice. So that's a very good point. So what else from these quotes you guys talked about? Anything that stood out? Foundation of all the arts, right? Something that we were talking about earlier. It doesn't matter which medium, which type of art that you're doing, design is the basic, the foundation for that. Right? Very good.
I like the last one.
Yes, go ahead. Why do you like that?
Design.
It's true. Have you guys stopped to think about it? Like one of the quotes here says, design is everything, and the designer is a synthesis of an artist, inventor, mechanic, you know, these interesting things, right? Is that true? You guys think that's true? So yeah, if you look in this room here, for example, how many things you can point out that were designed by someone? Everything that's in here, right? The clothes that you guys are wearing, like Maddie is saying, he was, you know, doing that, working for a company, just doing that. What else? Your eyeglasses, your shoes, your bags, right? Your jewelry. What else? See, that's a very good one, okay? I was hoping somebody will bring that up. So look at all of us. Look at our faces. We all have different, you know, of course we all have 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth, right? But look how different we all are. You know, the color of our hair and everything. So, and even if you're not just talking about people, but look at the world outside. Look at some of the things that God created for us. Okay, so if you look at leaves, for example, how many different shapes you're gonna find or colors, and it's just amazing, you know, the animals. So God, for sure, He was the greatest creator and the greatest designer, right? Now, if you keep looking in this room, you're gonna see this computer. Apple probably pays big bucks for a designer to design their products, right? Their machines. Their advertising is also really good. You're into marketing, right? Do you like the Apple ads? And yeah. So they probably, you can tell that they spend a lot of time on these things, on their packaging for the products and all that. What else? The furniture. Somebody had to design the furniture, right? And even this very room, like the architect had to design it, right? So if you stop to think about it, you know, design involves everything. Very good. Thank you, guys. And what about the second row here? What do you guys talk about? And even here, like the fourth one that says design is art that makes itself useful. Another thing in design too, it's you have to try and make something that's functional, right? Not only aesthetically beautiful, but it's also functional. Okay, what about this? Design is a learning experience. So my agenda is figuring out what I want to learn next. So, of course, we're always learning and never stop learning. And the last one, you guys have anything to say to designers to communicate? Do you guys agree with that? Does design communicate? It does, right? Any type of art communicates. So what you have to think is like what you're trying to say and how you're going to say that through your design, right? So remember that you're communicating something. Okay, so you guys, the last row. And so yeah, by the way, this guy, this long quote here, the last page. Have you guys heard about this guy? Laszlo Moholy-Nagy. This guy is the co-founder of the Bauhaus School. Have you guys ever heard about the Bauhaus School? So he was a mixture of everything. He was a photographer, he was a designer, an artist, and he was a genius, this guy. And these things that he talks about here, sometimes kind of hard to understand, but it's true. You know, the way that you're trying to organize, you know, integrate a lot of different things into design, you know, material, shape, color, volume, space. And then the last thing he says is thinking in relationships. Okay. No, you guys, have you guys taken class from Brother Lisa? He's the art teacher on the campus. Have you taken he always talks about when he's teaching the students how to draw, how to paint, he says, in relation to this object is over here. So in relation to this, so as an artist, you're always looking for those relationships, you know, things. Very interesting. What else? You guys have any other things here? The last quote, you guys agree with that? The details are not the details, they make the design. That's true, right? The small details like a texture or, you know, a simple graphic element that you put on your design, they're not just details, they're making your design, your layout, right? So, does anybody want to say anything else about these things? So, thanks for the participation, and got some really good discussion going. That's good. So, I hope you guys can, for this class, you guys can go outside and you can get inspired, you know, with things that you see, like movies that you watch or the nature around you, like you guys mentioned, you know, when you walk around, try to pay attention to things and designs and how, you know, even when you walk through Foodland and you look at the food on the shelves, you're going to see a lot of different packaging. And imagine that somebody had to design all these different boxes, and they're trying to make it look really appealing so people actually buy that product just because of the nice design on the box or on the bottle. So start paying attention to those things. Commercials, ads, you know, when you look through magazines, layouts. When you surf the internet, try to look for web designs that you like. And why do you like those things? Why is it appealing to you? Is it because it's a clean design, or you know, the colors, the color palette that they're using? So I would like you to start paying a little bit more attention to those things as you go out. One of the things that very important too, that we're going to be doing in this class, at the end of when you finish your project, we're going to have a class critique. Okay, so the critique is basically, we're going to put all your projects here on the big screen, and we're going to talk about it. Okay, so this is one of the times that you're going to notice you're going to learn the most, is when we're doing those critiques in class. Okay, so you're going to look at each other's work, you're going to get inspired by each other's work, and going to learn a lot from it. And also, it's good that you get comments from other people on your work. Okay, is it any good if I'm an artist and I make my work here and I really like it, but I'm going to hide it and I'm not going to show to anyone because I'm afraid somebody's going to say that my artwork is not, you know, very good, or they don't like the colors? Is that any good if I'm an artist and so that's the purpose of doing art, is that you can share with others, right? So that's why all the art classes, you always go through this critique. So it's a lot of fun. We look at your projects and talk about it. If anybody has suggestions, you just go ahead and say it. You don't have to, of course, say that in a bad, you know, offensive way. But you can say if you see that something is not working really well, so the person can learn and kind of understand why, you know, that it's not working. So, and if you see something you like, you're not going to say, "Oh, I like this. It's cool." You know, but you have to think about, why do you like it? Okay, so think about some of the principles that we're going to talk about, principles of design, and see what the person is using that's making that design appealing to you and look interesting. Okay, so the critiques are very important, and I would like you guys to all be here for the critiques and participate. Even if you're shy or you don't like to talk a lot, but try to say a few things, because of course participation is also part of your grade. So I want you guys to be able to talk and participate. The other thing too that I was going to mention is the projects. When we have a due date, you have to turn in on that date. Okay, so we're not going to accept late projects because it's not fair for the other students. And also, we're going to have the critique, and if you don't turn in on the date that you're supposed to turn in, you're going to miss the whole point. Okay, so it's very important that you turn in your assignments on time. Okay, the lesson on layers, this is one of the things that's from this classroom in a book. Okay, so it's very important to understand layers in Photoshop. That's why I kind of scan the lesson and put it over here so you guys can try it, can play with this. So there are a few different files here that you use for the lesson, like the start file, the beach, the family. So these are all files that are for the same lesson. Okay. So when you open there is one that says Layer Basics PDF. So the PDF is the instruction. This one will tell you what to do. And then these files, you're going to use it as you work on the lesson. So they're going to tell you, open this file, now open this other file. So when you follow the PDF, it will tell you what to do. So if you want to start looking at it, you're welcome to do it. We also have here the video tutorials. So this is actually on the IDD website. We have a few tutorials that you're be able to watch. It's kind of fun because they're just video, you just sit and watch. So, and you can try and do it yourself too if you want to really learn. But as we go, I'm going to show you everything, how to work. I don't want to bombard you with a lot of information the first day, but I'm going to be telling you what to do. There are a lot of very good tutorials online too. I don't know if you guys use it or not, but even YouTube, there are a lot of good tutorials to learn Photoshop, Illustrator. And do you want to say something? No, just stretching. Now, one of the things though with the software, it's you have to, if you want to learn something really well, you have to spend time in trying to, you know, learn it. It's not going to come to you just like this if you don't work hard to learn it. And this is true for any kind of software, right? So I can tell by experience that I really learned Photoshop by working on it every day on my own, you know, trying to learn and figure out things. And the more that you practice, the more that you're going to be comfortable in using the tools and the layers. It is really fun, you know, once you start working on your projects, because that's when you're really going to learn the tools and the software. It's when you start working on the projects that you're practicing all that you learn, and that's when you actually get to understand it well.